Hello everybody, it's Damon, Crazy Logics 007 on YouTube and Crazy Logics in the forum. Working on another Rockford Fosgate Power T3002. And I wanted to go over these terminals here. This one, somebody had soldered wires to it, and so I've cleaned it all up and fixed everything up here and stuff, and I'm installing a new terminal. But I wanted to go over these because these terminals are used all the way back here on these power series. They're used on the 25 to life series, any of the Rockfords that'll be like the P300 to 300.2, 300-2, the power series and stuff. Rockford's used the heck out of these terminals everywhere on all kinds of amps, you know, and any of those that I kind of call what I call the 3-wall is what I kind of call them, because they got heatsink here all the way through the back and on the other side, and then the terminals are all here, so they got 3 walls, and then all your connections are on one side. So I wanted to talk about this because one of the things that happens if we come down here, if we can. See if I can get a little extra light going. Maybe get a focus. Yeah. See how the screw heads get all messed up and stuff? And that happens on a bunch of these. And, you know, it's a real pain to tighten up your speaker terminals or your power terminals or anything when it's when the screw heads are all messed up. So what I want to do is I want to show you there's 2 styles of these that have been out. There is this style, which if you get it popped free, actually has a top, and this piece will have a top on it too, and allows you to remove it, and then you can get these screws out with your screwdriver and a pair of tweezers or something, and bammo, you get the screw out. And we're going to talk about the screw sizes also. Then there is this style, which is, I don't know if it's newer or older, I think it's newer, but it does not have the removable tops. And so you'll go down and thread these screws and they won't come out. You get them and, you know, the screw won't come out. And so I want to show you the secret, and it works for these to help them, this style to help them out too. So you see what happens when you tighten. Let me get this back up here and get a little glare off here. So when you tighten your screw up, see how it clamps onto the wire there? The clamp moves. See if I can see how the clamp goes there, and now it's going to get tight, and it's going to clamp on there. So you tighten this thing all the way up, and you'll notice you can get under the bottom. Then you can stick a little flat blade screwdriver or a spudger or something, and just slide it in the bottom, and then back the screw off. And what's going to happen is it'll keep that piece from coming down, and it'll push the screw head to the top. Look, there's the screw head. And you just keep backing it out, and bam, you can get them out. And then they'll still fall down, and you can put a new one in. And so there's the 2 larger size, and then there's the smaller size, and here is a different style smaller size. Slightly different. Let's see if I can get them to hold up there a little better. Same on the big ones. Not much of a difference. Really doesn't matter. The kind of slightly domed head ones came in the thing, but they can have either or. So when you go to replace these screws, and this is a 4mm for the speaker terminals, 4mm with a let's see, it might be 5mm on the remote terminal. Let's see. I thought it was the same as the other. Let's back it, or tighten it all the way up. Raise that sucker up where we can see to it. Oh boy, it's tougher. Normally the remote's not all messed up. Normally it's the power terminals, because that's where everybody torques the crap out of them. I'm going to cheat and stick underneath here since I happen to have this one out, just because we're wanting to see the size. So let's get this out of here real quick. Alright, and it's the same size. Okay. So you're going to have the 4mm here, that's what these are, and 5mm in the big power terminal. And so let's pull out the old cheapo calipers here and put it to metric. So on these we have, they're almost 4, so that's 4mm, so it's going to be 4 by 0.7 thread pitch, and they're going to be about, that one's showing 9, so 9, so anywhere from 8 to 10mm ought to work. Let's measure this other style. Yeah, it's 8.8, so right around 9. These are 5mm, and that's going to be 5 by 0.8mm thread pitch, and these are about 14 long, so somewhere between 12 and 15, get you about that size. So you're going to go out shopping, and you're going to find you some nice replacement screws, and one of the things you might notice is if you don't have this removable top style, only a certain size head's going to fit in there, and so you can see, oh sorry, I grabbed the wrong screw. I've got a replacement here. Which one of these is the replacement? This one. So I've got a replacement here, and if I measure this screw head, it's zero up my thing. It's all 7.58, so 7.5mm. If I measure this, it's 8.6, so it's going to be a little big, and you're going to notice it's not going to fit in there. And so what you can do, let's get some tape. What I do anyway, tape, silicone tube piece, doesn't matter. I just tear me off a bit. Wrap it around the screw as best I can without making a mess of it all, to protect the threads. And then, oh, gotta grab my drill. Then you can chuck it up in your drill and not mess up the threads. And then I'm just going to take my Dremel tool and I'm going to just spin it and grind it, but I'm going to do that over on my workbench away from all this. I don't want metal shavings all over this, but I'm just going to grind it down while it's got a nice spin going on. You could do the same with a file, sandpaper. You could put a sanding drum on your Dremel. Just whatever you need to. If you can't happen to find, it's pretty easy to find the right threads and length and stuff. It's a little harder to get the right head diameter, but that's all you gotta do is find the right one, and then you can always just chuck it up in your drill with a little protection, and once you've turned it down, bam, and get it to fit in there, it'll be all nice and ready to roll. And then you can put new screws in this style. This style, like I said, both blocks you can be in this style. You can pop it off. You can use that same trick, turn this all the way in, stick your screwdriver up underneath that plate, and back off these two outer screws to help push up on this to pop it free if you're having a hard time popping this free. Normally from the factory they're pretty dang tight, but after you pop them off the first time, they're pretty easy to get off. I always put a little dab of black E6000 right here and right here, just to keep it from ever popping off after that, and then it's pretty easy to just get back there and kind of cut it with, you don't even have to cut it with a razor knife or nothing. Just an opener tool will split that whenever you go, and you can pull it back off. But I wanted to go over my little secret for popping that screw out. Normally it's the power terminals and the speaker terminals that eat it so bad. Sometimes the remote, but normally not so bad. But like I said, just changing it out on this board. This board, somebody had butchered the heck out of it. Had a whole bunch of other things they'd done wrong. They've done a repair, replaced FETs, but they didn't. If I swing over here, they replaced FETs and redid, but they never reset the bias, and they're mismatched FETs. So I've got to take all that off, redo it. This one looks a little cooked, so I'll probably have to replace it and make sure the drive circuit's all right. Get this channel back up to snuff, reset the bias to the factory settings, get these terminals all on, and this thing will be all cleaned up and ready to rock and roll with new screws everywhere, and away we go. But like I said, this is used in so many Rockfords. I just want to let everybody know, because you will end up getting them with the screw heads all tore up, and they can be replaced. Just make sure you go to the hardware store and get the right ones. Don't get you a big, drywall screw. That's bad. So anyway, I hope this helps you, get some of these popped out and keep your screw terminals in good shape for all your Rockfords that use this style. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.